Okay, folks, so here we are on the Take Action webinar. Just getting started to introduce myself. My name is Keon Bliss. I'm the Grassroots Volunteer Coordinator from Move to Amend's National Coalition. And you are tuned in for our Take Action webinar, How to Start a Move to Amend Affiliate Group. So just for a couple of orientation and participation tips. You should be hearing audio now, and if you can't, try and type into chat and let me know if you're having trouble hearing me. But so you can hear the audio just fine, turn up your computer speakers or use our conference line, call long distance charges may apply. It's 213-416-1560, and then the attendee access code is 533-997-180. And for any questions that you might have as we're going along, please type your questions at the chat bar at the bottom of your screen, and we will get to your questions at the end of the call. If you have any technical difficulties viewing the webinar, type your question in using the chat bar, and if that isn't enough, please email us at support@anymeeting.com, and we will do our best to help you. So a quick overview of our agenda. We are basically going to do a quick overview of Move to Amend, introduction to our Move to Amend affiliate groups, benefits of affiliation, and basically how Move to Amend Nationals team supports our local affiliate organizing. And then also go through the affiliate on-ramp process. This is your basic process of how you get started to become a Move to Amend affiliate group. And then offer some tips and suggestions for how to spark local involvement. So just a brief overview for those of you who are new to this call, or to Move to Amend. Move to Amend is a coalition of hundreds of organizations and hundreds of thousands of individuals committed to social and economic justice, ending corporate rule and building a vibrant democracy that is genuinely accountable to we the people and not just corporate interests. And those of you many don't know, we are working to pass the We the People Amendment to make clear that artificial entities do not have constitutional rights and that money is not a form of protected speech. As it stands, the Supreme Court has deemed fit through the 14th Amendment that corporations are considered equal persons in the eyes of the law under the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. And from this decision, dating back all the way to 1886's Santa Clara County versus Southern Pacific Railroad, this has led led the Supreme Court to extend corporations the same rights under the First, Fourth, Fifth, and of course 14th Amendments to the Constitution, culminating with the Citizens United decision, which recognized the First Amendment free speech rights of corporations and unions to spend unlimited amounts of money in political advocacy. And of course, other recent Supreme Court decisions, such as McCutcheon versus FEC and Hobby Lobby versus Burwell, which recognized First Amendment religious rights for corporations. This has created a profound dysfunction of our democracy, and one in which we need to actually amend the Constitution if we are to overturn these decisions, because the Supreme Court is the highest law, or is the final interpreter of the Constitution. So to do this, we are provoking discussion and organizing about how to make real the promise of American democracy through a broader constitutional renewal process. As many of you know, we have amended the U.S. Constitution 27 times, and there's nothing to stop us from doing it again. But in order to do that, we need to build a mass movement that is powerful enough to make this demand and push our elected representatives at the local, state, and federal levels in order to make this 28th Amendment a reality. So our basic principles and values that guide us in this building of a broad democracy movement is anti-oppression and solidarity organizing. If we are to be powerful as a people, we need to unite across all social divides. We need to come together regardless of race, sex, or class, regardless of where we stand on the political spectrum, if we are to actually build a movement of millions of people, a multi-ethnic, intergenerational, cross-class movement. And to that end, coalition and movement building is another one of our core principles and values, basically because in order to be powerful and be effective as a people this large, we need to organize structure and really bring in, connect our issue that we focus in on Move to Amend, being corporate constitutional rights and money equals speech, with the various issues that people care about at all levels of society, local, state, and the national level. To that end, we also are committed to grassroots organizing, which helps us organize those folks at the local level, such as starting local affiliate groups, which we will learn here about soon. And then also dedication to political education, where we have to learn from the lessons of history, as we are following in the footsteps of many people-led movements that have helped to amend the U.S. Constitution more than 27 times. And in order to be effective this time around and make sure that we can pass the 28th Amendment, it's really important that we understand the lessons, both the successes and failures of past people-led movements, from the abolitionist movement to the suffrage movement that gave us the Black men and women of all colors the right to vote, the trade unionist movement, and the civil rights movement, and of course the LGBTQA movement. And of course, lastly but not least, we also seek to maintain political and economic independence so that we do not fall to the same follies as so many other movements and organizations before us by being dependent upon corporate donations and handouts and infrastructure to maintain this movement. So the most obvious question, why start an affiliate group? The key benefit, of course, to starting an affiliate group is to organize, educate, and engage your friends, family, and neighbors at the local level. Organizing your local community to take action means working together to effectively use your power as a collective people to challenge the broader power of corporate rule. And that means challenging, like major corporations that have outsized influence at your local city councils, that tend to push out smaller mom and pop shops, you name it. And learning organizational skills to train and become community leaders is an effective way to build an effective organizing group. And developing and using organizing tools to help people connect and engage with your movement, with Move to Amend. And that is, of course, lies at the core of our organizing. And then another main focus of educating your neighbors and lobbying elected officials helps raise awareness about corporate power and influence in their daily lives. That includes bird dogging candidates, writing and incumbents to support and co-sponsor the We the People Amendment. That also can be writing letters to the editor, getting out at marches and rallies to make your voices heard, because we'll get into this later on here when we discuss education. But we need to make sure that people know that there is a movement for a 28th Amendment and why this movement is so essential if we are to really create a genuine democracy that is representative of all people, not just corporate interests. Thirdly, engaging with organizations to grow the coalition and build the movement. As I said earlier, we need to connect the issues that people care about most, and those of you who live and work at the local level would need to know what your community cares most about, and connecting those issues with the nature of corporate rule and how corporate power and influence can help or is directly affecting you in your daily lives. And to that end, launching action campaigns and passing local measures help not just raise awareness, but also build political pressure on your candidates and incumbents to make clear that you as a people want the 28th Amendment to make this clear, that corporations are not people, constitutional rights belong to human beings and not corporations, and that money is not a form of protected political speech. So what do affiliate groups do? One key aspect of affiliating with Move to Amend is that you help pass local resolutions. Resolution campaigns calling for the We the People Amendment are a fantastic organizing tool that helps mount political pressure. And we've actually succeeded in passing more than 700 resolutions at the town, city, and county council levels. More than 18 states have passed resolutions in some manner or form, many through statewide ballot initiatives. In fact, we have been on the ballot more than 300 times and helped in conservative and liberal communities alike, and have passed every single one of them, usually by landslides of over 70 and even 80%. Passing resolutions, of course, puts this state and federal representatives on notice that their constituency wants them to pass the amendment. So to this end, this is why we focus it and use it as a fantastic organizing tool. So some of the campaigns that many of you have probably heard of or recognize, we've passed many at the local ballot level, most recently here in places like Cleveland Heights and Shaker Heights, Ohio, and even Toledo, Ohio last year. Some groups have actually managed to create additional opportunities such as democracy days, which I can get into a little bit here in the next couple slides. But just some of the big victories that we've recently had was in Washington State, where thousands of people managed to collect over 330,000 petition signatures to put Initiative 735, a statewide resolution in the state of Washington, calling for an amendment to make clear corporations are not people and money is not speech. And we managed to pass with over 60% of voters supporting in November 2016, the same year that Donald Trump was elected, of course. And then vote yes on Proposition 59 was a statewide ballot initiative in California that passed with over 54% of the vote. That's more than 7 million people who support this amendment, and making it clear. And then, of course, there was the vote yes on issue 95, which was a local measure in the Cleveland Heights, Shaker Heights area. I believe it was, this was Shaker Heights Move to Amend who helped put this through. And none of these local resolutions would have been possible if we did not have affiliate groups and local organizers, many like yourselves who are listening in on this call, going out into the streets, going to public events to collect petitions, speaking publicly at local town and city councils, and also lobbying your state representatives to put these measures and issues on the ballot. So a couple of pictures, I'm afraid, did not go through, but one right here is basically one of our Toledo affiliate organizers, Douglas Jambert Sweet, who his group helped collect more than 11,000 petition signatures to put issue 2 on the ballot last March, and it passed with overwhelming margins. And not only did it join more than 700 communities calling for the We the People Amendment, but it also created what is called a Democracy Day, which basically has one of the largest cities in Ohio comes together to basically discuss issues of corporate influence and participatory democracy. And this is not the first Ohio ballot measure that has created these democracy days. It's actually a great education tool, which we will get to here momentarily in the next slide. But roll the next couple slides. So this just is a small map of actions that have taken place across America in support of the 28th Amendment. Like I said, local resolutions have been passed through state legislatures, through the ballot, municipal resolutions as well, and then of course statewide ballot measures like in Washington, California, Colorado, and Montana, in fact, which was one of a few states that had, before Citizens United, its constitution with clear campaign finance limits. And we're hoping to, of course, continue to grow that, and that is none of these efforts would have been possible had we not had local affiliate groups on the ground doing the organizing work. So another thing that affiliates do is education, because as some of you probably know, more than 80% of the public actually supports, actually understands, agrees with us that corporations shouldn't have the same rights as people and that campaign spending should be limited, but they don't know that we exist or exactly how to do it. So to this end, Move to Amend views this part of the movement as being in the education phase, where we need to get out and our affiliate groups tend to host public talks, forums and teach-ins, rallies that call attention to this, and even hosting presentations with other local community organizations and groups to get their support for a 28th Amendment and to really build the coalition that we need in order to be powerful enough to make such a big push and demand, such as amending the supreme law of our land. So just a couple of examples of educational opportunities that exist. Many local affiliates will get out into the streets during public events or public marches, such as Cesar Chavez Day March, May Day marches, the LGBTQ March, and even 4th of July marches. I myself came from Indiana, where we had an affiliate group in Bloomington, Indiana, that managed to not only participate but claim first place in our 4th of July parade. And these are just one example of really getting the word out that there is a national coalition working to amend the U.S. Constitution to end corporate rule and legalize democracy. Another set of people, this one here being taken in, I believe, is Cleveland Heights, Ohio, basically holding up a banner calling for bringing attention to Move to Amend and calling for the movement to end corporate rule over their local highway overpass. This is a great way of just generating buzz and attention at key times throughout the year, and this can really be done at any time. If you have just a few people, usually about 5 to 6 people, can manage to do a good highway bannering action. And then, of course, there's some other artful actions. There are some artful actions too that include doing local street theaters. For those of you who are attending may have heard of Theater of the Oppressed. That's just one method, but this one is done actually in Salt Lake City by our Salt Lake City Move to Amend affiliate, basically doing a corporations are not people and money is not speech street theater project, and using a little bit of puppet theater. This is a great way of really just kind of engaging with folks in a very creative and thoughtful way, in really opening their eyes to the nature of corporate rule and how corporations have managed to become recognized as people under the eyes of the law. And then the most obvious way of educating your local community is through having public talks, of course, such as one here in, I believe it was Rochester, Minnesota. Just having a local gathering at a public building or in a public square, and just speaking to the issues of how corporate power and influence has come to affect your daily lives as a community, and what steps you can take to challenge this corporate power and really take back power for we the people. Another thing that affiliates do, of course, is hosting presentations and public talks as well. It doesn't have to be necessarily outside. It can also be at the comfort of your own home, or even in a public library, or a church, or even a university classroom. These are just some of the presentations that Move to Amend has helped organize with the help of local affiliates, featuring these being members of our national leadership team, who you'll probably recognize, and our original co-founders. Basically, if you all are, as a group, are able to organize, to secure a venue and set up a time and a place, Move to Amend's national leadership team will come out to where you're at and give a presentation and help your local affiliate group take flight. Another thing that affiliates do are lobby and bird dog elected officials. Affiliates target candidates from local, state, and federal office with questions at town hall forums. They post up candidate surveys, such as our Pledge to Amend campaign, getting them to promise support for the We the People Amendment, and also writing letters to the editor that help. These tools and actions help raise awareness about Move to Amend amongst candidates and the general public during election time, especially. Ultimately, Move to Amend's goal, as we get further into this campaign, is to make this a litmus issue test where people will only vote for a candidate that supports 28th Amendment, making clear that corporations are not people and that money is not a form of protected political speech. And if they are not willing to support 28th Amendment, we will find somebody who will. And all of these contribute to Move to Amend's national strategy, and our indicators of success, of course, being people, where we not only have a critical mass of people, but our people are representative of the population at large. That means growing an intergenerational, multi-ethnic, cross-class, and transpartisan base of support, and that starts at the local level. It never starts from the top down. It has to start from the ground up. And in these communities, advocacy, we have our measure of success is advocacy that builds a unified municipal, county, and statewide voice in support of the We the People Amendment, such as passing local ballot measures and city council resolutions, or even state level resolutions, even possibly amending your state constitution to make this clear, or passing a binding resolution that calls for your congressional delegates and representatives to support the We the People Amendment, which is also known as House Joint Resolution 48, that's currently in the House of Representatives, and introducing it in the Senate. And that helps, of course, secure endorsements and allies in Congress committed to passing the We the People Amendment. So how does the national team support local organizing? One of those ways being infrastructure. Move to Amend actually provides manages a national website with the most comprehensive resources on. It represents the most comprehensive resources on the web for people interested in learning about the history of corporate rights and the work that's being done to amend the Constitution. We offer affiliates pages on our website that allow them to engage directly with people in their community online, post up events that will go up on our national calendar so that people can easily find what is happening within their local area, as well as other groups in our state. And a part of the website as well is our national database, which we call Hive, or in other words, helping interested volunteers engage. This is a robust database system that allows our affiliates to reach out to supporters in their community by phone and by email, track engagement and communications between folks at the local level who might be interested in being a part of your local affiliate group, shares responsibilities and deepen involvement of their supporters from online organizing into real life organizing. Another key piece of infrastructure that we on the national team help do is also host monthly conference calls that allow for affiliates to communicate with each other and share tips, tools, and strategies that have helped them organize folks within the communities, and really branches it out across state lines and within the state itself, and just connect with the broader movement to amend the Constitution. Then another thing that we also offer is affiliate support. That comes in many forms, including not just developing tools and materials that you can easily find on the website so that new affiliate groups don't have to reinvent the wheel, but have a steady supply of background education, handouts, and material analysis. Everything is available in our Take Action Toolkit that you can find on our website, movetoamend.org, and is freely available to the public. Another aspect of affiliate support is basically weekly phone calls and check-ins. We have a national office based out of Sacramento, California, which you're available to call Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., or you can email us at any time, and we usually try to respond within 2 to 3 days at maximum. We utilize a very lean staff. We have about 7 full-time staff members on the national team, but all of our work is basically dedicated to supporting you on the ground, be successful in organizing affiliate groups and be effective community leaders within your towns, cities, and states. Another great benefit of being a Move to Men affiliate group is we will also offer public speakers and organizing trainers to come out to your local area. So for those of you who have been following Move to Men, we tend to host annual barnstorming tours that visit towns and cities from state to state, basically giving public talks or workshops or organizing trainings from the brightest minds that we have on the Move to Men's national leadership team. We also will organize, if you look at our Take Action tool, or our actually strategic plan, we have a strategic plan at movetomen.org/plan that basically provides a guidelines and benchmarks for how we will pass this will be the People Amendment within the next 10 years. One of those is organizing regional convergences and annual leadership summits. We had our first annual leadership summit in Washington, D.C. last year, where we had more than 60 local affiliate groups turn out representatives to basically go through workshops, go through citizen lobbying training, and actually culminate with a We the People Lobby Week, where our organizers that attended actually went to visit their congressional delegates to speak with them about co-sponsoring House Joint Resolution 48. And in fact, from that lobby week, which didn't just involve people going to the offices, but also calling their offices to tell their representatives to pledge their support. But we actually picked up 6 co-sponsors within that short amount of time. So it's a really effective lobbying tool, and we are committed at the national team to helping you do that. Organizing tools we also develop, which I just mentioned earlier, the Take Action Toolkit. If you go to movetomen.org/toolkit, you can find a variety of resources that were created not just by national, but also were created by local affiliate groups, which you may be interested in starting. This helps us so that we, of course, don't have to reinvent the wheel, but we also have used these Take Action webinars, such as these, to help train local affiliates who need a more personal touch, and it gives you the opportunity to ask those of us on the national leadership team questions relating to key topics like how to start an affiliate group, or how to use an affiliate page to build outreach, or even discuss or learning about the latest national campaigns which we are organizing and local affiliate groups are getting involved with. Another point too is anti-oppression tools that we help develop. One of those being the Movement Education Program, which all local affiliates go through during the process of affiliation and building your capacity as a local organizing group. We develop a curriculum to help study the skills needed to bridge organizing across race, sex, and class divisions, and these include monthly readings and conference call discussions with members of Move to Men's national leadership team. So these are just some of the benefits that we offer and help in order to help you at the local level be successful organizing members and build your capacity to be effective community leaders. So how we assess movement growth, basically at each stage of growth, and I'll go through our what we call the affiliate on-ramp process from sprout to forest. We evaluate your process, and basically this includes evaluating your knowledge, your skill set, and your attitudes in organizing for Move to Amend. So knowledge being what must a person / group understand thoroughly in this work, what must a person or group do skillfully, and then what beliefs and values does a person or group cultivate. So based on our affiliate on-ramp process, supporters begin to engage and we call them seeds, where you're basically just individuals prior to group formation looking to, or we're basically seeking out new volunteers that are also interested in your community. You might help just table and collect some petition signatures. You may be attending a barnstorming event featuring one of our national leadership team speakers, or even a local, a more experienced organizing affiliate group. And then, or maybe even just hosting a film screening of our mini documentary, Legalized Democracy. And that's really easy to do within a public library, a coffee shop, or even just in the comfort of your own home. And then, of course, Seeds will often donate as well. And for those who aren't aware of Move to Men's financing, basically, we are a very lean staff. We have about 7 volunteers and typically have 4 to 6 interns who help out with the National Coalition work. And we prioritize our work on movement building and lobbying Congress to support the amendment more than fundraising, which is why we are dependent upon small donations, typically of $40 or less, and that accounts for about 80% of our funding. As you develop, as your interests grow and support continues to engage, you may start convening local groups and start talking about organizing. This includes just doing some basic gatherings in your own home or another public place, and just having the conversation of how you can get involved with the national movement at the local level. Some of this will include studying and organizing within your community. There may already be study groups that are going on within your community. You might just host like a public studying on like a reading group of some sort, or you may just be involved in a public forum or a local teach-in that has some workshops and you're interested in getting involved with. Holding programs such as our We the People Listening project or Pledge to Amend. You don't need a local affiliate group to get that started, but once you do become a sprout and begin the process of affiliation, you'll be more inclined and have better access to our materials and our resources, such as the Hive database to do phone banking or canvassing opportunities, really to build support at the local level, and also to lobby your state and federal officials to support the We the People Amendment. And this is the initial stage of becoming an affiliate after you complete the formal application process. So as your affiliate develops and grows, you'll become what we call a sapling, where you're new, you're just a small group with about 4 to 5 members within your local core group, and but you may have at least a few interested volunteers and supporters within your community who might show up to the regular events, maybe infrequently, maybe not. And this is also a place where we've already accepted your affiliate application. You've already signed our memorandum of understanding, which basically covers the responsibilities that National has to your local affiliate groups and what local affiliate groups have to National. You have basically begin the process of going through the movement education program, which helps educate you and basically understand how we got to this moment where corporations have more power and influence within the democratic process than we the people, and then community organizing work is already underway. Some affiliates may have actually started as an organization previously. They may have been their own organization and then wanted to get more involved with passing a 28th Amendment and decided to affiliate with Move to Amend. You can either change your name to basically carry the Move to Amend, or you can just keep your organization's name and become what we call a partner affiliate, where you basically continue the work that you've been doing as an organization, but you'll actually pledge support to Move to Amends We the People Amendment, and that you share the same core principles, values, and are agree to work with us cooperatively to pass this amendment. Some affiliates may need to take their time at this stage, and this is basically the place where it'll often linger, and that may require some pruning here and there. Which, I mean, all movements, no matter where you're at, basically grow. Some groups stay active for a time, maybe just to pass a local ballot measure or pass a city council resolution, and then interest may taper off for a bit. Something else may come up that's really important to the community, and they fall inactive. This is the natural process of grassroots organizing that you'll more than likely go through, but we of the National Leadership Team are here to support you and help continue your engagement, and that may require some replanting, where you may return back to the base, or may go back to the basics if you're struggling to maintain engagement with the community, finding activity, and we will help you revitalize your group with maybe like a public talk, a workshop or training that where National Leadership Team comes out to your area and helps and speaks with your local affiliate group, or may just be a series of phone calls to help give you all some ideas and develop a plan for how you will become more active within the community. Another step will be in the affiliate formation and growth process, you'll eventually, once you have become more stable and have been around long enough, you'll become a more mature affiliate. You'll have completed the movement education program. You'll have a local which will culminate with a local solidarity action plan that will be in place, and it will be tailored specifically to your community and the issues that are most important where you're living. You'll have significant community organizing that is already underway, and basically you'll begin a process. You'll begin to start having some actual progress in your legislative and advocacy work. That includes maybe passing a city resolution with your city council, and then you want to move up to passing a resolution at your county council. And then once you have a county council here, and maybe the neighboring counties and neighboring cities that are closest to you, you'll start working on them. And then once those are passed, you'll eventually have enough political pressure built and maybe enough capacity to start lobbying your state legislatures to introduce a statewide ballot resolution or a legislative resolution that calls for the We the People Amendment. And there are plenty of states that have already begun this process, namely California, Washington, Ohio, Minnesota. In fact, some of these states are in the process of working towards binding resolution, where basically the state legislature will not only call for their for Congress to take action on House Resolution 48, the We the People Amendment, but if Congress doesn't take action, they will actually call for a convention of the states, which is also known as an Article 5 convention, where the states will propose a constitution, will propose the We the People Amendment and send it to Congress to take action. This has never actually happened before, but it is a powerful political tool that will help pressure Congress to take action before the states do. And some support will be provided too. You'll also be more connected with neighboring affiliate groups, and you'll be working together and basically pooling your volunteer resources and other tools that you develop to work together at the broader state level and hopefully into the national level. And some of our states have actually already developed into this capacity, one being Ohio, Minnesota, California, and Washington State. Those are the closest we have to building those kinds of working groups. And not all trees or mature affiliates are going to look the same. So it shouldn't. This isn't meant to be a one size fits all sort of process or whatnot, or look, but you may be along at different stages of the process, where you might be doing some of these things as a tree while still being while your local affiliate is still developing as a sapling and may need to be revitalized. So there really is this isn't a linear line. This isn't a sprint where you consider it a marathon. There are so many roads to becoming a mature affiliate or tree. So once enough trees are gathered together, you will eventually form a grove, where you have a state or regional network of three or more local affiliates and or working groups planning together, coordinating activities, supporting one another's affiliate work and local organizing work, and is typically within the same state. So though some may be along the border and may want to connect with other states. This happens in certain areas, such as in Oregon and Washington states, and it can happen anywhere else. Depends on where you're at. And then once there are enough groves that are in place, you build up capacity, you'll eventually be able to form a state or regional chapter. This will be a formal state-level organization that leads statewide activities and basically coordinates directly with national. And you'll help support local affiliates more independently, though national team will of course help you with resources and and you will be a part of formal decision making at the national level. This will basically involve having a board of directors similar to the national leadership team, and or maybe you'll develop a new type of system, which that is entirely up to you, based upon your capacity and your state's interests. But the process for becoming a state chapter hasn't really been finalized yet. That's actually one of our strategic goals. Is in 2017 we will come up with a chapter accreditation process, and we will develop this process not just as a national team, but we'll also invite representatives from local affiliate groups, saplings, and trees who have been involved in this campaign for a long time, and they'll help draft a chapter accreditation process that will work best based upon their experience and ours. So one of the key organizing tools that all affiliate members will be required to go through is the Movement Education Program. Basically, this will help prepare affiliates to build authentic and trusting relationships rooted in solidarity with organizers on the front lines of struggle against injustice and corporate rule, and directly engages with people from groups hardest hit by structural oppression. This typically being people of color, women of all colors, LGBTQ+, indigenous groups, you name it. There are many groups and many communities that are directly affected by the harms of corporate rule and corporate power being utilized against the common interest of we the people. And considering that we as a nation developed from a constitution and a process where the Constitution not only did it focus almost exclusively on property rights, and in fact, we didn't actually have human rights inserted in the Constitution until the first 10 amendments were passed. But those who were actually considered persons worthy of protection under the Constitution were a relative handful, typically only wealthy, aristocratic men, white men in particular, who were able to basically, who not only created the process, but created the Constitution and decided political discourse to large exclusion of the vast majority of the population, women, people of color, even non-landowning white men. And if we are to actually create the democracy that is genuinely representative of all people, regardless of race, sex, or class, we need to really centralize the voices and the communities that were originally left out from the beginning. So to that end, the Movement Education Program is a tool to help Move to Amend leaders become more effective organizers with these communities. And this is basically the format goes over a 7-session, has 7 sessions, which you are free to perform at your own pace. which the national leadership team will actually join you for sessions 1 and to really like lay out the framework of why we focus on movement education, and then and reaching out to communities of color and centralizing, dismantling these systems of oppression, which have largely benefited corporate power or corporations and their executives and owners, to really make the connection between the issue of the corporate rule and the intersections of issues of environmental justice, racial justice, and in any important social issue that which we care about. And so we start off with you at sessions 1, and then come back together from sessions 5 through 7. And the culmination, and this involves basically just doing individual readings as a group. Or you can do this just individuals, but it includes readings and media, such as videos, followed by a group discussion with members of the national leadership team. And by the end of these 7 sessions, you will come out of this process with a solidarity organizing plan that helps. That basically frames the issues that are most important to your community, and basically is a roadmap for how you will become an effective community leader and organizing group to build this movement from the local level, basically developing from a sapling to a tree to a grove, and eventually to a forest or a state chapter. So here are just some of the sessions that we go through. Basically, session 1 is just an introduction into Move to Amend's founding and our background. We kind of touch on our philosophy for why we need a democracy movement, and then also discussing why we as an organization centralize anti-oppression analysis and work as we work to pass the We the People Amendment, and and basically analyze where we stand within a nation that is largely treated people differently based on arbitrary differences such as gender, race, and wealth and income, and also sexual orientation and so forth. Steps 2 through 4 help kind of build on this understanding, where you develop a framework for solidarity organizing and anti-oppression analysis. We teach you, you basically learn about past people-led movements, from the women's suffrage movement, from the abolitionist movement to the civil rights movement and labor movement. And then also learning from some of the past mistakes and failures of some of these movements, including division and co-optation, which typically happens from the 2 major political parties backed by wealthy corporate funders, who basically create wedge issues that divide movements and make the general population more manageable, because we cannot unite on common ground or as a central issue. And then sessions 6 and 7, we come back to before session 6 and 7, there's a pause and reflect session where you kind of, digest what you've learned and really come to understand why we're going through this process. And then that leads into developing your solidarity organizing and action plan in sessions 6 and 7, where you basically develop the best practices for internal democracy within your group. So make sure that all people are represented within your local affiliate group, and that you as a affiliate will basically local affiliates, you'll basically provide a self-assessment, and you'll have a planning discussion meant to culminate in a written plan, which you will serve as a companion to the affiliate's action plan and lay out your local efforts towards the national 10-year strategy. So just a brief recap, we stay through with session 1 to go through the introduction phase, and then you'll have a national leadership team member by phone usually participate, usually 1 to 2 of us. And then we come back together for session 5, and then go through session 6 and 7 together. In fact, session 7, you'll actually have a member of the national leadership team participate with you in person wherever possible. Otherwise, we typically do this by phone. So how to spark local involvement, how you basically get started is, of course, sparking local involvement, and that involves, doing solidarity and community building. Many of you have probably learned this through your own experiences with other organizations, or just living within a more broader and diverse community. But being present is one of the most important steps. Simply showing up to what's happening, to local events, or going to local meetings to really participate and engage. But most importantly, to listen to what your neighbors, your friends are actually telling you. Not everybody's circumstances are the same, and in fact, many of you, there are many people who have come from much better backgrounds and carry a certain degree of entitlement and privilege, which affects everyone differently, but largely makes us somewhat trains us not to see how other people might be living and struggling within a naturally divisive environment that is rooted within systemic oppression such as racism, sexism, and classism. So really, in order to build solidarity and become genuine allies, which is not being an ally is not as a self-proclaimed title, but rather a long, often arduous process of building trust with those people who have been most marginalized and most oppressed that live among you, and basically have been pushed to the margins of society for no other reason than to benefit a corporate power structure or a wealthy ruling class. So being prepared to be present and listening to what people are saying is really key if you are to spark local involvement and really engage in community building. Another thing too, of course, is to support one another and be supportive of those people who are most marginalized and oppressed. And that's not just simply telling them how to do things, but listening to how they do things, and supporting them in whatever action they seem necessary or that they deem necessary. We all have many ideas and for strategies and events for which we can, help better our communities and build power as a community. But really, I mean, if the people who have been living on the fringes and have been living on the front lines of corporate rule for the longest, they know how to pull themselves out of it. They know what they need. So really having the capacity and will to trust them and support them and take leadership from them is really key if you're hoping to build a local affiliate group and engage in solidarity and organizing and community building. And then, of course, most obvious thing, like I said in the beginning, is to show up. Simply participating in those actions and not necessarily needing to be called on, taking the initiative to really step up and help out wherever you think you can. Being visible at community events is really key, and there's plenty of things going on right now across the country, and there's a lot of energy being built up around the current administration and what we national team considers emerging fascism that is happening and is threatening to really take away the last remaining semblance of democracy that we may have. And there's a lot of energy to be gained in that and a lot of opportunities to engage with folks. So being visible at community events, whether that be a local farmers market or participating in parades and marches, or just tabling at a local conference or a convention where you just have a few handout materials such as Move to Men's brochure or a copy of our strategic plan, or maybe just some buttons and some stickers and bumper stickers that you can hand out and collect some petition signatures. These are all great ways of really engaging with the community, bringing attention to the national movement to amend the Constitution, and really just building capacity as a local organizing group. And of course, attending local government meetings being the most important as well. It's really important to participate in the political process, even if it is currently rigged against us or is heavily, or there's an institutional advantage that favors corporations and wealthy donors over ordinary Americans and small business owners. So really, just the more you attend these events, the more visible you become, the more people start to remember your name, and the more interested people eventually get, and will want to work with you or eventually join your group. You may actually form local coalitions of many different organizations where you're all working collaboratively or cooperatively to, not only support House Resolution 48, but you'll also be supporting each other's individual issues and work that you do. There's plenty of great work happening all around, and there's no end. There's no end really to to what you can do. There's always something that you can do. So to that end, there are also not just at the local level, but there are also national campaigns which you can participate and engage in that also build, your visibility and build support for locally and help, give your affiliates and volunteers something to do. That includes hosting house parties for democracy, which you can check out on our website. We'll actually give you the tools and resources you need to organize a public film screening of Move to Amend's mini documentary, Legalized Democracy, which is a great educational tool that basically goes through the history of how corporations came to be considered persons under the Constitution with the same rights and power as ordinary citizens, and utilizing that to take more power. But yeah, this is a great introductory tool. It builds up a lot of energy, and I'll tell you myself, as a national organizer, I still get goosebumps and chills when I watch it, and it really fires me up every time I see it. So this is a simple, easy way, and you don't even need to, get yourself or rent a venue, really. You could do this in the comfort of your own home by just hosting a small house party with a few friends and family, showing the documentary, and then maybe utilizing our brief discussion guide to kind of go through and talk about what you saw in the film, how it made you feel, and what you all can do to take action and support this national campaign. Another easy step to get involved in is the Pledge to Amend campaign. Last year, we actually, it was a presidential election year, so we saw a lot more activity and managed to actually break past our goal. We only had a goal of getting 165 candidates to pledge support for the We the People Amendment in local, state, and federal races. But we actually blew past that and got over 270 candidates, with more than 50% of those candidates who pledged support ended up winning their elections. So really good work. That wouldn't never have been possible had we not had local affiliate organizers going to campaign events, attending their incumbents' town halls, and making the phone calls to our congressional representatives' offices at the district when they're in district, or going to Washington D.C. or their district office for an in-person meeting to ask them to co-sponsor the We the People Amendment, which right now we're actually at 33 co-sponsors and growing by the day. Another good event to help organize too are participating in our barnstorming tours, where we send a leader from the national leadership team to come speak at your city or town or county building, basically just informing folks why Move to Amend is committed to making clear that corporations are not people and money is not speech, and really educating to the foundational myth, that we were created as a democracy of, by, and for the people, and really we have largely benefited the very wealthy few. And this is also a fantastic opportunity for you as an affiliate group to meet with one of our national leadership team members and go through your local plans for how you plan to become effective community leaders and build your affiliate group. And there's a wealth of experience among each of our national team leaders, and you can basically they will basically help you, go through a public meeting or just a private meeting that just, kind of gives you best tips and practices for how you can become better and more effective affiliates, or, just continue the process or continue the work that you've been doing and just keep building that support. And then we're always collecting we're always collecting petition signatures. That is an easy way to do, and you don't even need a local affiliate group to do it, but it is a great tool to use to really build capacity for starting your affiliate group. We're looking to collect more than 600,000 petition signatures this year. We're currently over 430,000 and continue to grow. So, getting out to those farmers markets, attending those public town halls, or even just, going to petitioning outside of a local football game or a basketball game. Any kind of public event is a great opportunity to just carry around a clipboard and asking folks if they'll support a 20th Amendment that makes clear corporations are not people and money is not speech. One other thing too that we'll be having this year, some of you may remember this from last year. We had or not last year, but in 2013, we had a We the People Listen campaign, where this is basically a community canvassing and listening project where Move to Mend volunteers travel the neighborhoods, going door to door to learn about what's important to your community and connecting our issues with their concerns. And we'll actually be having another Take Action webinar here in a week on April 4th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, where we'll be giving the kickoff to this We the People Listening project. So really important to attend that if you're able to, and it's a great way to really learn what's most important to your community and framing the message for how you want to approach and join the movement to amend the Constitution. And just to recap too, all of these are just a taste of some of the national campaigns that we're doing. There are also going to be other campaigns and events that you'll want to keep an eye out for, and visit us at movetomend.org to really keep track of. But our 2017 goals include, learn what's important to our communities, engage with them to find out what they think about issues of democracy and corporate power. We see these campaigns help to build relationships and trust in our community, grow capacity and organizing skills for Move to Amend in our local affiliate groups, and then, of course, grow support and a number of petition signatures from a broad and diverse community. So what are the next steps? For those of you who are interested in starting a local affiliate group, holding your first introductory meeting would be the key thing here. You can actually go through the steps of how you can get started by going to movetomend.org/start-group to basically go through the process of how you might begin your first meeting to discuss whether you want to become a local affiliate group. The next step would be to find a venue and a time. This could be a public library. It's generally open to the public for anybody who schedules ahead of time. You can even do this at a coffee shop and just have a small conversation with 4 to 5 of your friends or other interested, like-minded folks. Or you can do this in the comfort of your own living room. In fact, many of our local affiliate groups will have their organizing meetings at somebody's house. And this doesn't have to be at the same house each time. You can actually do it on a rotating basis. So, one week you're doing it at your friend's house, and another week they're doing it at your house. Really up to you and how you engage with that. And then, of course, once you do find a venue and a time, registering your meeting with Moves to Amend. That means posting an event listing that will show up in our national calendar. And we will also, of course, help promote your meeting. You can send out an email blast through the Hive database, and or you can we can help you distribute flyers or help set up a Facebook event that we can post up on the national page. Or, if you have a affiliate president or just looking to get reactivated, we can help set up your Facebook events and so forth. But these are all just small ways of really getting the ball rolling. And I like to tell everybody who's interested in starting an affiliate, just because you're the first person in the area who reaches out interested in starting a group, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be the de facto leader. You may just be the person who gets the ball rolling, gets 4 to 5 people to come together just to have the conversation about starting an affiliate group. And many of our affiliate groups, and which we encourage you to do, is not to necessarily allow leadership to fall on just one person, but sharing the responsibility and helping develop and train like-minded individuals to have the same organizational skills as you do, or as the person, or as the people that you are convening this meeting with. And then, of course, review the affiliation process once you feel prepared to go through, or to really become a local affiliate group. You can go to movetoamend.org/affiliate and find the readings that are key to really giving you a background of what Move to Amend does, why we're building this democracy movement, and what it means to become a local affiliate. And really, we're very transparent and open about our responsibilities to you as national leaders, and also your responsibilities to the national campaign and the We the People Amendment. And we're more than happy to talk this process through with you. If you contact our national office, you can call us at 916-318-8040, or you can email us at info@movetoamend.org, and we will respond to you again within the week. So we're at the end of our webinar, and at this point, I invite anyone who's on the call still, if you have any questions or comments you'd like to make, or anything that you'd like me to go over that I touched on in the beginning. Okay, so found someone from Brainerd who would like a copy of this slideshow. Once this webinar is finished, actually, we usually post our Take Action webinars on the website. If you go to movetoamend.org/toolkit/webinars, or actually, if you go to movetoamend.org/webinars, you'll find a link that takes you to our archive, and it will be up there. And we'll send an email out once that is uploaded to the website, so that you can view this slideshow again. And if there are any other questions, you feel free to ask them right now. But as I said, again, you can always call us at the national office. My colleague, Millie Harmon, or Shelley Williams, our administrative coordinator, we will gladly assist you and help answer any questions that you may have. But I hope that this webinar has been very helpful and encouraging. It seems like some of you has really appreciated it. And thank you all for tuning in. So yeah, and another next step too, of course, complete the survey at the end of this webinar. You will automatically be directed there after we end. Contact Move to Amend if you have any questions. Again, info@movetoamend.org, 916-318-8040. And then please tune in to our We the People Listen campaign's kickoff webinar. That is next Tuesday, April 4th at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all so much for joining me on this webinar, and I will be in touch. Take care, y'all.